Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mormon Wives, Season 2, Episode 2.
It's important for me that Zach makes peace with Jesse and Demi because I feel like a lot of the resentment they have towards me is actually because of the resentment they have towards Zach.
Okay, so we're starting and opening up with Jen and Zach talking about Demi and Jesse's visit, that Jen feels like a lot of the resentment the girls have for Zach is because of Jen, and she really wants them to make peace. And here Zach comes walking in, saying it was rough. Let's see what happens. Hello, future editing, Brittany here. So what I just said is completely wrong because I misheard Jen. And now watching it back on the edit, I'm kind of shocked that she actually thinks the girls resent her because of their resentment of Zach. I'm just so confused. Like, this whole episode was a roller coaster, and I just can't believe the way that Jen is unraveling throughout this episode. But now that I'm editing, I just caught my mistake of mishearing what she initially said, and I think I'm just shocked.
All she says is how horrible you are, how narcissistic you are.
You're kidding me. Like, I haven't really talked to them at all since Vegas.
So
in fact, they've never even reached out to me.
So they also called you out for that. So let me just
called me out.
Hey, how do we squash our beef to then support Jen? It kind of felt like it was everyone
against Zach.
No, against you.
Oh, okay. So like, Jen looks genuinely confused that they're okay. I'm so interested to see what happens. I want the girls that they have proof that Jen did not respond to their text messages reaching out to her. So now I'm curious about that.
It just bums me out, sweetie, because I made mistakes. That being said, it's like, I feel like I'm so careful with my friends, but I would never tell like Colin or Jackson or my best buddies these things because I don't want them to have this one-sided opinion. I don't want to vent to them about my marriage.
All I've done since Vegas is defend you on social media with my friends.
I think there's like a confusion with how we talk to partners. Again, I think if you're in a toxic relationship and you're scared, you should talk to your friends. I think if you're in a healthy marriage and you're just having a moment, you should talk to each other or a counselor. I think it is important because I've had girlfriends of mine that are like the complaining about these guys they're with. And then they're like, hey, I think I want to date this guy for real and maybe marry him. And I'm like, all you've ever told me about this man is that he sucks. Or I've had male friends who tell me about their relationships and just like everything is negative. And I'm like, they're like, why aren't you happy about my relationship? I'm like, because every time you tell me about it, it's negative. I think you should be careful about what you tell your friends if you don't want us to have negative impressions of your relationship. Because if every time you tell me about your relationship, it's negative, then I'm going to think it's negative. But also, I don't want you to be afraid to come to your friends about the negativity in your relationship in case you actually need somebody to tell you, I love you, but I think you're in a toxic relationship. But then you also have to be open-minded to the fact that your friends are like, hey, I think you might be in a toxic relationship because like of everything you're telling me. And then you run the risk of people being defensive because they don't want to let go of this person they have bonded with and they don't want to think about their choices as being toxic. So I feel like that's what's happening here. Jen has vented and now Jen's like, how could they think that about you? And he's saying, well, I haven't vented about you, but is that because Zach is trying to protect himself? Like, this is where I see the confusion being possibly.
And the crap that I've been through for defending you and your actions.
If you don't trust them, then please don't go share all the negativity about our marriage.
It's interesting too, because I remember Jen didn't invite the girls to the christening for the baby because Zach, one, didn't like them, but two, he thought they were too kind of like scandalous. And she was like, yeah, you guys aren't as into the religion as these other girls I'm going to invite. And because of that, you're not coming. So it's interesting seeing it now in this light.
The fact that they're saying that makes me so, wait, you're not listening to me. Let me speak. You spoke for 5 minutes. Because I feel like if they truly valued me as a friend, they wouldn't be turning my husband against me.
If they were really truly my friend, they wouldn't turn my husband against me. They wouldn't turn my husband against me. Yeah, I think this is the issue with toxic relationships is like they're not a team, so they can't be healthy together against all the doubters. The doubt is seeping into their marriage because they do have doubts about their marriage.
You squash everything and get to the bottom of all of this.
Like they can't trust each other. So they're relying on other people to help them figure out who to trust. That's how you know you're in a toxic marriage. Your marriage should be you guys trusting each other, right? And if you can't trust each other, to be honest, now you have to rely on my friends and family because now I don't trust the person that I've made a baby with, that I live with. That's the sign that you're in trouble.
We had Taylor, who was married to her ex-husband. They swung with Miranda and Chase.
Oh, so now we have some history. And in this recollection or the retelling of the history, they also blurred out Taylor's partner. And I wonder if it's because Taylor's partner did not consent to being featured featured on the show, but this is the party where Chase is about to show up. And so now they're all going to have a conversation about it.
Now, Chase is dating one of Jesse's friends, Kate, but also Layla and Chase hooked up.
Oh.
So this is just going to end.
Layla, do they hook up during the swinging? And what does hooked up mean in this context?
In a normal world, I would never put these people together in one room, but how else are we going to get to the bottom of Miranda's involvement in the swinging?
I mean, I guess that's one way to say it. Like in the real world, she wouldn't have done this, but I do think it's like, I guess for the show, but I kind of hate it, but I do guess it's for the show.
Like, if you want to come back into Mom Talk, you have to be willing to tell the truth.
Okay, so now Jen and Zach are with Demi and Jesse, and they're going to have a conversation about everything.
Do you feel like you've only heard negative from me? Because I feel like the past 6 months, all I've talked about is the progress that we've made. I mean, I've had moments where I've confided in you because I trust you, but my truth is our relationship is up and down. I don't feel like it's correct for you to say that all I've ever said was negative things.
It's interesting to me that Jen is so upset with the involvement of everyone in her marriage when she was the one that brought everyone into her marriage and into those problems.
Which is why I say be careful who you decide to involve in your marriage, which is why you should be going to counselors because they're professional, they're educated, they're licensed. Hopefully you're going to I would recommend a secular educated person. Okay. And they're held to a professional standard, right? It's okay to talk to your girls, but your girls aren't your therapists and they're not marriage counselors, and they will hold it against your marriage. So if you're genuinely having problems in your marriage, go to counseling and keep it private, because your counselor will also be a person who can point out the abuse or toxicity. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is why you don't involve people in your marriage.
We definitely still have like our tough days where like we just aren't on the same page.
Yeah. This could be the difference between us either breaking generational trauma or me leaving him.
I feel like everything they're showing of Jen in the flashbacks is like really reasonable, really makes sense. It's also makes sense for the girls to have a negative impression of Zach. I think everything kind of makes sense. I think they're doing something to Jen that I think is dishonest, but I think what Jen is doing is dishonest to herself. She's trying to fix a broken thing. And no matter how much tape you put on that vase, girl, I think it's time to get a new one.
I was being told that you gambled money that was being given to you by family, which apparently is not true, which I would like clarification on that.
Yeah, I would like clarification because I do recall that from the last season. I thought she did say that.
I would appreciate if you would just tell them the truth, and that is not the truth.
No, he didn't gamble money that his parents sent us.
Had I gambled money behind Jen's back? Yes.
Yes.
And had I sports bet behind her back? But
I think I had clarified. I don't remember telling you.
What the
So maybe she misspoke and never clarified, or maybe, I don't know if she's being, I can't tell. I can't read Jen's mind. Did she do it on accident? Did she do it on purpose?
That was a big reason why we all were so worried about her and her relationship.
She does look genuinely confused, Jen, but I don't know. I know why the girls are upset though, because now I'm confused.
If you had the right intentions, you wouldn't have then continued to talk bad about my relationship.
Well, okay, girl, we all like a little gossip. I wouldn't say anything that's not true. I don't mind talking to the girls about things that you did share that are true. You know, as long as they're not lying or spreading rumors, I think it's fine. But, you know, gossip is healthy as long as it's not malicious or slanderous.
I know from your guys' perspective, you think you guys have been good friends to Jen, but in her reality, she doesn't feel that way.
I didn't feel like anyone was there for me.
I sent you a text that said, I have a feeling that I should check in on you right now. I love you. I hope you're doing okay. I also sent you a voice memo and said, I love you. I hope you're doing okay. And you kind of like ghost us. Like, you don't really.
I disagree because after Vegas.
You can't disagree. It's a fact. I checked in on you, Jen.
Oh, what is happening, Jen? Oh, show me the phone. Show me the receipts, Jesse. This is interesting. What is happening?
I am going to lose my mind.
Now, remember that if I remember correctly, Jen's mother works at the hospital that Zach's father works at as a doctor, except her mother, I think, works for the cleaning staff. So she, I think, was raised by a single mom as well. Just something that came into my mind that I just remembered. This is going to be interesting. Is Jen, see, I would be like, hey, are you having a medical emergency? Are you like forgetting stuff? Because if this is true, and we see the receipts and we hear the voice message, then something's going on with Jen. Either she's lying or she's having a medical problem.
Text, she would respond to me like 4 or 5 days later, just like, thanks, love you. So to say I wasn't there is a lie.
So she's saying it and just being like, okay, thank you, which is fine, but interesting.
You chose to remove yourself.
But rightfully so, because I confided with you as a friend that I trusted. I didn't expect that you were going to then exploit this information, and then you told the whole group, and then it was the whole group against me. How could I turn to you after that? After Italy, you did come to me, and I could easily talk about that, which I'm not going to.
About what?
Just everything that happened in Italy.
I got married in Italy. Am I saying you copied me by getting married in Italy? Who performed at my wedding? Andrea Bocelli. Who performed at Courtney's wedding? Andrea Bocelli.
What happened in Italy?
Oh,
well, just how after Italy, Brett was crying to you and
No, he wasn't.
You're talking about the hotel room?
He was like, you have nothing to worry about.
What is happening? What is going on? Ooh, I'm so interested in human beings and how we recollect things and how we remember conversations and how we think we understand. You know, when you're talking to somebody and they're nodding like they understand, I'm sometimes concerned for exactly this reason. They're like, are you getting it or are you just nodding along? Like, do you understand what's happening or do you think you understand what's happening?
I genuinely feel like Jen is just grasping at straws. I feel like she almost like wants me to be in trouble or for there to be an issue with me and Brett. And the issue's not there.
I have had friends, I've had, maybe not friends, but I've had people in my life try to do that where they're having problems in their relationship. And so they kind of want to be like, aren't you guys having some similar problems? And I'm like, no. And then they'll be like, well, didn't you tell me this? I'm like, yeah, but that's not what I meant by it. Like I meant something totally different. So I have met people like that and they're not great people, but okay. Is Jen that? I like Jen. Oh no, I don't want to not like Jen, but is there something deeply going on?
Jen, I'm not coming at your husband just to come at him. It's because I've been in a situation like this and I'm trying to be there for you because I love you.
After talking to Jesse and Denis, I don't know where my friendship stands with them and if I can trust them.
So I guess there's going to be a Halloween party, not important. What's important is that there is something significantly wrong with people's communication style. And I don't know where it's coming from. I just cannot tell what is happening with Jen. I'm shook.
You're kidding.
We're gonna roast Jen and Zach.
You assholes.
I am so glad that I got invited to Jesse's Halloween party.
Okay, so they're at the Halloween party. Apparently they're going to roast Jen and Zach. That just sounds like a bad freaking idea. But, you know, Zach and Jen had a conversation about like going to parties in the first place and Zach's going to leave it up to Jen. It just sounds like something messy and unnecessarily dramatic is about to happen. And it sounds like Jesse's in charge of it. And I don't like that. But let's see what happens. Also, love Miranda's costume. She's Mr. Krabs. And she's got like a money suit on with the crab costume. Cute.
Maybe if I'm lucky, I can get in the good graces of these girls and potentially be back in Montauk.
Or maybe let's not do this because it's so unhealthy. Isn't that interesting that you would want to be back in this? I want to be 1,000 feet away from all of this drama. The fact that somebody would want to be in this is such a sign of toxicity, in my opinion. Okay, this is Chase and Kate, Justin and Hailey Bieber. This is the guy that there's going to be controversy with.
Chase is my ex-husband and Kate is his girlfriend. She's great. I love her. I have a good relationship with Chase as well, but do I want him here at this party? No.
Okay, good. Miranda said she has a good relationship with Chase, which is good because they're co-parenting kids. And she said she does like his girlfriend, which is like, I think, good energy. But do they want to socialize together? No. And I agree, like, no, not if it's going to be weird.
That comes up and gives me a hug. I thought it was weird, but Taylor's already pissed at me. So I'm trying to be cordial with everyone tonight.
How's being dad?
Dude, the best thing
ever. Bro, it really is.
Seriously, it's the coolest experience I've ever had in my life.
Hey, what are they saying? Look at them. No, they're like giggling. They're giggling. They're laughing about shit. About their son's love.
Ugh, this whole group is so toxic. It gives me anxiety. But hey, that's why we watch. It's interesting. It really is like... We're just up here observing people down. Well, I don't mean up here like we're above them, but I mean we're over here observing people, and it's just like, ooh. But I get it. Like, God knows if you put my name into YouTube and you see all the drama tube of my face and thumbnails, it's exhausting, and I wish it wasn't true. But like, the adults really are just like high schoolers with money. I swear, it's so stupid. All of this stuff is so toxic. But I mean.
I don't get why we fucking hate each other. Did you ask Taylor, though, if I ever fucked her? Because the answer is no.
Yeah, I know.
And anything happen outside of spin the bottle? No.
And like, that's the thing is Taylor keeps saying everybody hooked up. But like, do you mean kiss? You know what I mean? Somebody please answer this question.
So I hadn't told them that I had left the church.
Yeah.
So for us, it was like, oh, deny.
Yeah.
And if I could go back, dude, I'd change that 10 out of 10 times.
Right.
And I wish that's what I could tell Taylor. And
Yeah, it is interesting that Taylor put everybody in a position to almost have to lie because they weren't ready. But also Taylor gets to tell her own story. But also, I really hope Taylor's being accurate because even though it is bad to have an emotional affair, even though it's bad to have a kissing affair, even though it's bad to hold hands and be, all of this could be considered an affair or in their context, an affair because they're Mormon. Even if it's consensual, telling people you kissed consensually versus telling people you had sex consensual, they're different. They're different things. So when she says hook up, now I'm bringing Taylor into questioning because Taylor is making it sound worse than it is by saying hooked up. But then is Taylor telling the truth and everyone else is lying?
Family is like, look, I wasn't trying to hate on you. Yeah. But the cheating situation was only you.
So Chase is saying that Taylor's the only person who slept with anybody, but then who did she sleep with? And they're saying the cheating situation was you, but is it cheating because the Mormons think anything outside monogamy is cheating, or is it actual cheating where like somebody was deceived?
Like I can just tell he's like talking about me and keeps pointing at me like it's triggering and I'm livid.
Jesse, wait, that's down
Excuse
here.
me.
Right. Sorry. Uh-oh.
Because they were pointing at her. Yeah. I would go it too.
Was lie?
What's up? Hi, what are you asking about? Over here.
How are you
We're talking about everything.
Well, you're pointing at me, so.
Oh, he was saying.
We're talking about you.
Good
What are you
things.
talking about?
The whole thing. And at the end of the day, when people ask me about you and my opinion of you, I say 98% of my interactions with Taylor are extremely positive. But also, you bring up the lowest point of my life, so I in return bring up the lowest point of yours.
What was your
when I don't
lowest
want
point?
to.
What was your lowest point?
When you announced that we were swingers to the whole universe.
That's your lowest point of your life, are you sure?
Yeah.
Look at her turning her head too, dude. How's how you know when she's like getting pissed? She's like, yeah.
So he's saying the lowest point in his life was swinging, which sounds accurate. She's saying it's not, and I wonder what she knows.
Don't bring it up and then not say it.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
I know, I'm just saying.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh God.
Are we doing all truth for truth right now? Are we doing truth for truth?
Go for it.
Did you tell me at the gym you had a sex dream about me?
Yeah.
Okay, say that right there.
So I don't like his energy, but it is giving Justin Bieber, and I don't like it. But he's like, say that right there, I assume into the camera, as if that's like a win. But we know Taylor said that. But Taylor was, okay, fine. You know what I'm thinking, but like, okay.
It took 2.5 years to bring
Anything
that up.
else? Anything else?
Why did it take 2.5 years?
It didn't. What did you tell me at the gym?
What did I tell you at the gym?
Yeah, what did you tell me at
I
the
said
gym?
that I also had a sex dream.
No. Okay, let's do truth for
You
truth.
know how fucking awkward this is for me right now?
Tell me what you told me at the
That's
gym.
exactly what I told you.
Are you sure? We're not doing truth for truth then. There you go.
No,
Look at him.
we
Look at him.
are.
You can tell he's lying.
Did you or not?
No, I never said that. That whole
Look at
thing.
him. You just tell he's lying right here.
Dude, I do. I feel like you just lied right there.
Ooh, Dakota's like, see, I feel like you just lied right there. So like there is. Okay.
And I'll tell you what else happened too.
What do you mean listen to a lie? I'm not trying to listen
I can't tell you. This is the thing. This is for the internet.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to just let him talk to. I'm not a part of this.
The girlfriend. I'm sorry. Upstairs, they just switched scenes from them being angry to this scene. It's because the boys are about to do a Chippendales dance downstairs because they flew a Chippendales dancer, the middle guy, out to this party. I'm gagged. Okay. So, the girlfriend, Kate, leaned over to Chase and said, stop pointing your finger at her, because it does look bad. Like they're pointing, they're angry, and it can look aggressive because he's taller than Taylor. So that's good advice, because the imagery looks bad. Even though he's not even that angry, it's the pointing that makes it look angrier.
He just started it with a sex dream that was out of nowhere.
Taylor, I just found out about that freaking 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so Taylor also didn't tell Dakota about the whole situation, so he's just finding out as well. Yeah, there's just so much deception. Like there's so much deception. There's so much, finding out from somebody else and now your partner is just a horrible feeling.
A month ago, you never told me that.
Oh, you never told him that? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's really opportunistic.
Whose side are you on, Dakota? I don't care.
Not yours, Taylor. She just said, whose side are you on, Dakota? Not yours. Obviously.
If you believe whatever, if you're my partner, you have my back and then you discuss it at home.
Oh, interesting. I understand this narrative. I will say at certain stages of my dating life, I used to say, like, if you're going to say bullshit, I'm going to call it out, even if you're my partner. I will say, like, don't have a partner who says bullshit in public. And yes, discuss it at home, but you're not partners right now. You're separated. You're not together right now. You're separated.
Like, so betrayed.
If he's saying that, then why should I not?
Why would you believe him?
You're yelling.
That's not true.
This is the
Dakota, he just lied to your face. Taylor, I had a sex dream about you? That just came out of nowhere to your fucking lying mouth.
Okay,
your boyfriend's
dude,
a fucking liar. It's fucking sick.
I don't know what's going on.
Honestly, Dakota is the most honest in this moment. I don't know what's going on either. We're all confused, Dakota. Somebody just say what he said to you. The fact that this conversation is still, just say what he said to you. Obviously, I assumed also that Disney or whoever does this is clipping things out of context to make it more dramatic.
Said that.
He just looked you in the fucking eye and said he didn't have feelings for me. You saw his face change.
I'm trying to just
Wait, Taylor, isn't it crazy?
Fuck you.
Isn't it crazy?
So she just said, you're acting like you didn't say you had feelings for me. And now the cops are coming and Kate's crying and say, I feel like an idiot right now. And everything is messy. There's alcohol involved. Are you guys not Mormons? Uh-oh. The Mormon police are coming.
Jesse, the police are here.
Oh, pause. Okay, this is next. So we're not going to do spoilers. We're going to end it there. Messy, 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 messy. so unnecessarily messy, so unnecessarily toxic. The fact that Miranda is like, maybe they'll let me back into mom talk. Miranda, do yourself a favor and skirt your way out of the bubble, because this is not good for anybody, including Taylor, including Jen. Everyone is so unhealed right now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Fingers crossed everybody gets the right kind of therapy and bubble popping needed to not be this anymore. And some of them are in their 30s. So as a late bloomer, I get it, but let's go, girls. Okay. With that said, oh, and so funny how many of them are parents. Don't even get me started. Parents, these are your parents. These are your parents. You know, for all my parents' flaws, thank God this was not my parents. Thank God I never had parents like this. Can you imagine being raised by these people? Jesus. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys for the next one. Please like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who's watching the series. And I will see you guys for the next one. Bye.